From brilliant strategists to quick-thinking prodigies, these suspects are about to showcase their genius in the most thrilling and unexpected ways. It's a battle of wits where the stakes are high, and the outcome is anything but predictable.
What's the speed limit right there? 45. 45.
This cop abandoned his ongoing traffic stop to pull over another suspect who was allegedly speeding, but then regretted it immediately.
Sir, I'm gonna go let you go with the verbal warning, okay? I'm gonna go handle that guy.
An officer from the Lordsburg Police Department pulled over a guy who was going 40 miles per hour in a 30-mile-per-hour zone. From the confrontation, it seemed as if this traffic stop was a casual one. Have a look for yourself.
The reason why I'm pulling you over, you were going 10 over the speed limit, 40 and a 30. Okay, do you by chance have your license, registration, proof of insurance, sir?
Just as the cop was verifying the driver's documentation, a guy in a sports car zoomed by them. And even though the officer had no means to know the speed of the car, he still signaled him to slow down. But the suspect revved his engine and kept on going.
0, 2, 3, 1, 9, 6, 4, 9, 2.
After abandoning his actual traffic stop, the cop pursued the other driver for a while before making him pull over at the side of the road. The conversation got heated even before it actually started, as the driver had arguments that even the cop didn't have answers to.
What's going on, man? What are you getting aggressive for?
Why are you? Do you know who the I am? Make sure your supervisor get here. You're telling me to slow down. How do you know I'm speeding? Dude, you're not in your f***ing car to tell me if I'm speeding or not. Why are you stopping me?
He was asked to step out of his vehicle, and it turned out that the place they were parked was at the driver's property himself. From there onwards, the dialogue between the two reached new heights as abuses started to hurl out.
Well, step out, dude. I'm not playing
Step out
games.
for what?
Just step out so I can talk to you over here, man.
Who's on duty today?
Me, Aaron, and Shepard.
Yeah, all right, get Aaron then.
You have your license?
No, I'm not giving you. How did you track me speeding?
Dude,
you're not in your f***ing car. You were outside.
So you have your license on you?
When your supervisor gets here.
Okay.
What's the speed limit right
That's
there? 45.
40.
45.
Cops are instructed to stay calm and defuse situations like these. But this rookie went on to poke the already agitated driver just to get some kind of a charge onto him.
You'll figure it out real quick.
Yes, sir. I will.
If you're not inside your car, you can't tell me to slow the f down outside.
Okay.
Who you think you are?
Relax, dude. That's all you gotta do.
You pulled me over for no valid reason.
You're a street attorney. You're good, brother.
I'm an attorney?
Yeah, you're acting like one, so.
When the officer realized that he had made a huge mistake pulling this guy over, he chose to abandon this situation too.
So that person was speeding, right?
Yeah.
And you did let him go?
Yeah, and I did.
Why was I going already? How did I let you catch me if I was speeding? You have someone pulled over.
Okay.
So how did you
Just jump in your car. I'm done.
No.
Have a good day. Jump in your car.
Where's your supervisor at?
He's not coming. So just jump in your car. Have a good day, man. PD 35. So go to 22.
And this is what happens when your high IQ son takes charge and stands up against abuse of power.
I'm cooperating. You're violating my Fourth Amendment rights.
No, stop.
Outside. You're violating my Fourth Amendment rights.
Hey, you guys cannot come in here without a search
phone.
warrant.
Get the
Going to
phone.
be
I'm
taped.
videoing.
Get the phone.
Cooperate.
I'm cooperating.
We're finding you to be
I'm
taped.
not fighting you.
We're finding you
I'm
to
not
be taped.
fighting you.
Outside now.
Walk outside so we talk. Okay.
I highly doubt that the police officers here passed patrol school, as they didn't appear to be educated enough about the law and were seen trespassing onto private property without a search warrant, all because of a mere suspicion that the victim had a gun.
I didn't do anything. You just tased me for no reason.
Stop. Outside.
What are you doing?
Stop.
What am I being detained for?
Outside.
What am I being detained for?
Just stop resisting.
I'm not resisting. I'm not resisting. No, don't take his phone.
No.
Don't take his phone. Don't take his phone.
back.
I'm good. I've chilled the whole time. I haven't done anything.
The officers continued to abuse their power and took the innocent man to their car. The unsung hero turned out to be the man's son, who started recording the whole thing and had a couple of interesting things to say.
What's your badge? What's your name?
Step back.
I'm not.
Look, he
I'm
just
on my
touched me. You
property.
can record all you want, but you're stepping back right now.
Hey, don't touch me. Stop harassing me.
We're just trying to.
I'm videoing this. You please get out of my personal space.
No.
Yes.
You're not gonna interfere
Get out of my
with what we're
personal
doing.
space. This is my property. Please.
You're
get
not
out of my
gonna interfere with an arrest.
Further into the incident, the man's son, who, mind you, was only 15 years old, put forward so many valid arguments on the table that it actually makes some modern-day lawyers look bad.
I'm on my property. Move out of my personal space. Please.
I'm gonna stand right
This
here.
is my personal square. Please move.
I'm gonna stand right here.
Please move. You're in my personal space.
What's your name?
Yeah, I do not need to give you that.
Yeah, you do.
For what reason?
You're
I know.
involved in this.
I'm involved with this, yes. But this guy threatened me and called the cops on you. And what's your badge number?
Now that the cops started to realize that they were in the wrong and that the kid knew too much about the law to be exploited by them, they resorted to ways that were in no way acceptable or even legal for that matter.
You can't. Hey!
Stay back.
I'm going in my house.
Stay back.
I'm going in.
If you try and come past me, you're gonna go on the ground face first. Do you understand me?
Okay, and then I'm gonna file a complaint against you.
Get your camera.
Go grab your camera. Yes, I'm allowing you to do that, but you cannot walk in my house. Okay, bye. I have 3 cops on me and I'm 15 years old.
Seeing everything, I'm pretty sure that this father and son duo isn't going to let these officers off easy. The use of brute force from earlier led to the guy being injured. But then, this happened.
He's a big man. Look at him, walking like he's all Mr. Know-It-All. He's the biggest pussy in the world.
And if you thought that cop got completely owned, watch what happened with this next one.
Remember I told you when you first pulled me over?
I had nothing to drink. He's gonna look stupid.
You're like, you're impaired. You're on drugs. You drink alcohol. Turns out I'm not on any of that. Really dumb decision by you today. I'm really disappointed in how you can't bite the drug
I
test.
based my decision on your field sobriety tests.
Most teens do rash driving or get arrested for driving under the influence. But that was not the case when it came to 19-year-old Taven Galanakis from Newton, Iowa. He was pulled over by Officer Nathan Winters of the Newton Police Department into a rather unpleasant and unnecessary confrontation.
Hi there.
How you doing, sir?
Good, how are you?
Good.
My name's Officer Winters with the Newton Police Department. The reason I pulled you over is because you have your bright lights on.
Yeah, I have a headlight out, so I just keep my brights on.
Okay, well that's not legal.
Oh, it isn't?
No.
Yeah, I turn when a car comes by, I turn them off. But like,
Well, you didn't with me.
oh, you weren't close enough though. You were like, you were a while back.
Has to be within 500 feet.
The officer had no apparent cause to make Taven step out of the car to run a background check on him.
Do me a favor, put your gum on your dash there.
But he did so anyway, and went on to ask Taven some really suspicious questions that showed that he was only doing so to mock the kid and get some fun out of it.
You don't have anything on you? No bombs, guns, drugs?
No bombs or no drugs.
Okay, let's go back here. I'm gonna have you have a seat in my passenger seat, okay?
Awesome.
How you doing? Good. Have a seat right on in there for me, okay? Close the door behind you.
Further into the detention, Taven was very confident that he was sober and asked Officer Nathan to just straight up do the breathalyzer test on him so he could prove his case and be on his way. But the officer wasn't too keen on it and made him go through the usual sobriety tests, which were completely unnecessary in this case.
Come on, man, it's too easy. Let's do the breath now. 2 for 2.
Well, sir, I don't believe you are 2 for 2. How many steps did I say to take?
Like 8 or 9?
I said 9. Why'd you take 14 and then 15?
I thought you were gonna tell me when to turn.
I said to count your steps out loud.
The real defining test finally arrived, and the result was obvious. But the officer was one tough guy to crack and did not back down easily. When his false allegations did not work, he went on to accuse the teen of another crime, which left him in a state of complete shock.
So I'm going to read you Miranda, okay? Right now you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney if you cannot afford one. One will be appointed to you before any question, okay?
Yes, sir.
When's the last time you smoked weed?
I do not remember that.
Tonight?
Oh, I've had no weed tonight. What? Why do you think it's tonight? Why do you think I smoked? I blew zeros, so now you're trying to think I smoked weed. That's what's going on.
I think by now the cop had probably realized his mistake, but did not want to back down because of his ego, and this is what he did even after the kid had evidently proven his innocence.
We would have to go up to the PD.
Right now?
Yep.
I don't want to do that right now.
You don't want to do it right now? Why not?
Because you had me out in this damn rain.
We would go to the PD where it's
Well, I
dry.
don't want to do that. I don't want to do that now. I want to go home. You wasted my time.
Turn around, put your hands behind your back. Right now you're being placed under arrest for operating while intoxicated, okay?
Back at the police station, Taven was made to undergo further tests, even though he had already proven himself and was detained there all night.
Bottom line up front, we're going home tonight, okay? I don't think I have no evidence or no information to suggest that you're under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Thank you. You know, Officer Winters is a very talented officer. So like I said, when he's very good at these. He does the same ones I do, the same way I offer them to you.
After he was proven to be innocent, he directly confronted Officer Nathan, which was nothing short of satisfying.
Really dumb decision by you today. I'm really disappointed in how you came about your job
I
today.
based my decision on your field sobriety test.
Was it really failed though? It was pouring outside. It was terrible cement. Okay, but like, I said up low right away. I do everything.
But there's also steps that I have to go through.
Did you really thought I was drunk?
But what happens when the suspect being interrogated is himself an FBI agent who is just way too smart for the cops? An undercover FBI agent came out of a restaurant with bags of food and was minding his own business until he was stopped needlessly by a cop who clearly had nothing better to do.
All right, Mr. Proctor. That is your last name. Everything okay?
Do I need to answer any of your
You
questions?
don't have to answer anything. dude.
Okay.
You don't have to.
Can you go ahead and finish your job
And?
so I can carry on?
You're not angry? You always talk to everybody like that?
I'm not angry.
Oh, okay.
I just want you to go ahead and wrap things up, please.
Okay.
The agent then went on to show exactly how absurd the situation was as he pulled up Google Earth and illustrated where he was parked. The officer channeled his inner toddler to keep on irritating the agent with his pointless questions.
Is there any other issues or anything going on? Well, if there's something wrong, then look at that yourself.
Do I need to answer any of your questions?
You don't have to talk to me. I'm saying I'm just concerned about your well-being. That's all I'm saying. Get people wanting a ticket. You know what I'm saying? I'm going through all this.
By now, the agent had had enough of the cop's nonsense and eventually snapped back at him.
Hey, Mr. Proctor, can I just give you your stuff so you can leave?
What do I need to do for you to hand me my documents so I can
I'll
leave?
get you-
I don't need to answer any of your questions. You're trying to display your power to me right
No,
now.
I'm-
You have no reason to be concerned about me.
As the cop's countless attempts at trying to make the agent escalate things went in vain, he finally returned his documents, but his ridiculous attitude still came through.
You're not gonna, okay, here, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna take a chance on you, all right, here. Mr. Proctor, you got everything's cool, all right? We're blocking traffic here, your stuff, all right? Hopefully you have a good day, all right?
Am I free to leave now?
Yes, you are.
Could you please step away from the vehicle?
Yes, I will.
The funny thing is that this traffic stop took place in San Mateo County, whereas the cop was with San Francisco PD. So that area might not even be under his jurisdiction in the first place. And talk about flipping the narrative on the head, as our next suspect asked this detective the same silly questions cops ask every other person.
Have you used any drugs today?
What a ridiculous question. Get out of here.
A YouTuber who goes by the name James Freeman was out one day testing the boundaries of his lawful rights by filming in a police department parking lot. And it wasn't long before Officer Mike Jardine saw and tried to stop him.
Are you with somebody in particular or pictures of our parking lot? Yeah, this is a police law enforcement parking lot. Yeah, it is.
Who are you?
I'm Detective Mike Jardine.
He questioned James about his intentions, but Freeman's wits went way over the average cop's head.
I'm asking you, what are you doing here taking pictures?
Have you been here all day? Or have you been out and about a little bit? I'm asking the questions. Where have you been today? I'm an investigator.
Investigator for who?
Investigative journalist.
Then came the perfect question to fish for the most ironic answer ever.
Have you been to the bar at all today? You got any drugs on you? Have you used any drugs today?
Another officer came onto the scene, and James made sure that he was the one asking the questions, as he made the other officer vouch for Mike Jardine.
Do you know where he's been today?
I don't keep tabs on him.
Do you know what time his shift started?
Not off the top of my head.
Does he usually drink on the job or no? Have you guys ever breathalyzed him while he's been on the job? Would you submit to a breathalyzer for me right now?
You're ridiculous.
Mike then tried to threaten the guy into making him leave the premises, but he wasn't the one to back down at all.
You got about 5 minutes to get out of here. What'd you say?
I said shut up and get out
No,
of here.
you get out of here now.
Instead, he made the officer leave and get back in his office as he taunted the living daylights out of him.
You quit drinking on the job, you understand me? You get your ass back in there, you don't look back here again. I'll be watching you. You are now under investigation.
Speaking of YouTubers, this next guy was out conducting a First Amendment audit when an officer walked right into his trap.
Everything okay?
Everything's great.
May I ask you what you're doing here? I'm concerned about possible terrorist activity. I'd like to see some ideas.
Emerson ICU Audits was filming in public near the community transit headquarters. He captured many of their employees as well as the main structure of the building. Some of the people had fun with it. While some did not appreciate his presence so much.
Can I help you?
No.
Why are you filming me?
Is your problem?
Just asked.
Okay.
It's not normal.
Are you just taking pictures for the fun of it, or just something you do?
One of them called the cops on the guy, and as soon as the officer arrived, he unlawfully asked for his ID and started placing baseless accusations on him.
Everything okay?
Everything's great.
Okay, may I ask you what you're doing here? Concerned about possible terrorist activity? I'd like to see some ID from
No,
you,
sir.
please.
The officer then told him the reason for the interrogation, but the guy knew exactly what he was allowed to do lawfully and showed the officer his place.
Transportation site that's a target for terrorist activity, which is why I'm here contacting you, Ryan. I'd like to talk to you to find out what it is you're doing here and make sure that you're not here for terrorist activity.
Is this a consensual?
It is not.
It is not.
No.
He then asked the cop a question, but he didn't even know what it meant, showcasing the poor police training system he graduated from.
A target for terrorist activity.
So what law am I
This is
breaking?
This is not normal.
So what law am I breaking?
Okay. I don't know yet. We are community transit property. Right here, starting here.
Oh, 1 inch.
His arguments were so valid, they left the cop completely speechless.
I'm making sure not to stand on their property.
All right. For now, I'll ask that you not stand on their property.
Am I free to go?
Yes, you may leave now.
Okay.
Okay.
He then went over to the cop himself to try and tempt him into saying or doing something that violates his rights.
Yes, sir.
I'm collecting news content for a news story. Okay.
For all I know, you're a terrorist. I don't know that until I talk to you.
Okay. I have no ill will or ill intent.
I don't know that. Well, you understand.
Okay.
I didn't just show up here. You're making people that work here uncomfortable.
Okay. They are out in public. There's no expectation of privacy.
Nowadays, instead of getting rewarded, a noble act such as picking up trash from the streets is met with unnecessary confrontation from the police.
I couldn't help but notice you just sitting on the patio out there.
What's that?
I couldn't help but notice you sitting on the patio behind this building. Yeah. And there's the signs for no trespassing, private property, that kind of thing. Yeah, I wasn't sure what you were doing, if you lived here, or you worked here. It looks like you're working, doing something, picking stuff up.
Zaid Atkinson, a student at Naropa University, was out doing some volunteer work on the 3rd of January 2019, when former Officer John Smiley from the Boulder Police Department came up to him and started imposing his authority.
I just told you I lived here.
Okay.
I told you that I'm working as well.
Okay.
Shouldn't that be enough for you?
Well, I gotta verify it, just so I know that you do in fact live here.
What do you need from me?
If you have an ID with your address on it, that'd be great.
Fuck, I don't believe it, man.
He produced his ID as requested, but the officer still wasn't convinced and wanted to prolong the pointless debate. Zaid rightfully became agitated and snapped back at the cop.
Just making sure you belong here, and if you do, then great, and I'll be on my way. Okay. And Zaid, do you have anything with your address on it?
Yo, look, man. Here, why don't you follow
Just
me
relax.
and I'll just fucking leave the building, dude.
Just chill out, man.
Dude, this is ridiculous.
I'm just asking you if you have something with your address on it that would help.
No, I don't.
Officer John then tried to pressure him into providing further details, but Zaid, in an impeccable display of wisdom, denied his direct orders.
Can you please have a seat? Put that down. Stop. Mr. Atkinson, right now you're obstructing a police officer, which is a jailable offense. I'm asking you one more time to sit down.
I'm not doing anything wrong.
He let the cop know that he had plenty of legal connections and that he was acting like a fool while his body camera recorded everything.
I can get lawyers, and you have a camera on you.
It's filming right now.
You're an idiot.
Have a
Why
seat,
would
please.
you think that you could tase me? I'm freaking picking up trash on my property.
I need to confirm
Which
it.
is where I live.
There's a sign.
I'm not doing anything illegal, and you're not gonna tase me, officer. So
Sit
how do
down.
you think about that?
The officer did the unthinkable as he went in to draw his weapon on a completely harmless man.
I told you many times to put it down.
And you're holding a gun.
Put it down.
And you're holding a gun.
Sir, put it down.
And you're holding a gun. How do you feel?
Put it down,
How do
sir.
you feel, officer? How do you feel? You're
Put
holding
it down.
a gun. How do you feel?
Sit down on the ground like I've told you many times
Or
before.
you're gonna shoot me?
In a clever ruse, John tried to play the victim by implying false threats. All this just because he did not want to leave the poor guy alone.
Look, I don't want this to go any further, but you need to comply with my orders.
I don't have a weapon.
That's a weapon.
This is a bucket.
No, that's a weapon right
This
there.
is a clipper for picking up garbage, sir.
Put it down. I'm telling you, I'm threatened
It's
by
not
it.
a weapon. You're not threatened. I'm threatened. You have a gun that kills people. How am I supposed to kill someone?
Sit down, sir.
He called for backup, and more officers arrived, making the situation even worse. Zane, however, firmly stood his ground against all of them.
I live here. You were ready to shoot me down, and you didn't know a goddamn thing. You're wasting all our resources.
I didn't even point my gun
You're
at you,
wasting
sir.
all our resources. There's people out there actually committing crimes.
Like, can I
How do
tell
you
you
feel?
something? Can I tell you something?
How do you feel? You're ready to jump out of your skin because you know you made a dumb mistake today.
Can I tell you something?
No.
John narrated his side of the story to his supervisor, who thankfully was smart enough to analyze the situation correctly and ordered him to defuse the situation as soon as possible.
According to him, he lives here. He just provided a unit number finally. I don't have a date of birth. I don't know who he is.
Okay, all right. So let's. You got his information in terms of his name and all that.
I just have his name.
Okay, then give me his
You're a
ID
fucking
back, and then we're out of
jackass.
here. Because we already confirmed he's there, and this
Got
gentleman
the
here
wrong
just said,
person.
yeah, he works here and lives.